Hey, we're back. We're going to continue with the condition inspection today. The other day, you saw me pull off the cowling, go through the engine compartment in some detail. As with any condition inspection, the first step is opening up the airplane. Remove all the access panels, take out the interior, remove the baggage bulkhead cover so we can get back into the tail cone. And then once we have everything exposed, we'll go to our condition inspection checklist and start going through everything systematically. I'm trying something new today. I know the sound quality wasn't so good, so we're going to use an AirPod Pro this time, see if that works any better. And eventually I may splurge for a lapel microphone. So let's get started and start unscrewing things. One of the things we have to do is put the flaps down part way in order to disconnect them so I can let them hang down. So I have to step up, turn on battery A, just the battery. Always make sure the gear switch is down, which it is. Okay, battery A on. Pump run a little bit, and then just momentarily put the flaps down. They only have to go about part way. That'll let me reach everything. So I'll just turn that off, and I can work on the flaps. Another thing while I'm in here is the dump valve. I'm going to open the inner gear doors. In order to do that, I have to relieve pressure in the system. The gear is down and locked, so it's safe to do. You can do one or the other of the dump valves. And there is the gear doors hang up, which is a rare condition. It's just there's backup. It's never actually happened. So, dump valve open. You can hear the pressure release. And now I can go ahead and open the inner gear doors. So simply come around the front. Reach up underneath and just push it open. The factory design actually uses a spring, so the doors are always being forced into the open position. I found it didn't really add much, and it just put a lot of strain in the system. So I've flight tested this, and the gear doors open just fine when you do a gravity dump. So let's go do the other one. Just reach down, just reach with your finger, grab it, push it open. And I can access the entire wheel well. We'll take a close look at the flap actuator rod, and we'll see how well that comes apart. So this is one of the first things to do. It's nice and comfortable to sit under here. Put your head up inside the wheel well. There's plenty of height. You need 2 3/8 wrenches to get this nut off. This is the bolted nut that connects the flap actuator rod to the actuator bell crank. There we go. So I got the nut. Washer's going to come off next. And when you let the flap down, you always want to hold on to it, because if you let it slam down, you'll damage the hinges. Let's get that washer off. Pull the bolt out. And then feed the rod through, let it hang down slowly, gently. Don't let it bang. And now I'm going to be able to get to the access panels that I need on the that are covered up by the flap. So next we'll get on the creeper and start going around taking stuff off. Got my screw gun, cup to hold the screws. One side done. So at this point, I've taken the interior out, seats, seat pans, and side panels for the cockpit. So if we take a look inside, you can see down into the underseat area, there's quite a few systems in there that need inspecting. In the footwell area, there's really no reason to take the carpet out because there's nothing under there except for the floor of the airplane. And since the airplane is carbon fiber, there's no concern about wood rot, there's no corrosion, there's no wires running through there or plumbing, and there's nothing really that needs inspecting under this particular set of carpet. The same goes for the back area. I'm going to adjust up a little bit. I'm going to get these seat belts out of the way. And same thing under the bottom carpet and the side carpet. There's really nothing there that needs to be inspected. The only possible damage you could have there is if you punched a hole in the side of the fuselage, and that would be immediately obvious, so we don't need to take that off. On the baggage tunnel, I'll take off the top carpet because under the wide area is the flap actuator motor. I've also got the ELT installed in there and the ADS-B receiver. So I'll take a look at those, check the expiration date on the ELT, give it a functional test, that kind of thing. When it comes to the baggage bulkhead, you just have to move the carpet back. This carpet here on the top and sides of the baggage tunnel, you just fold that back and then you can get that cover off, and then about 10 screws to get off the bulkhead underneath. I put this, you can't quite see it on screen, but there's a mesh behind that Lancer silhouette cutout with the attempting to get a little bit of airflow through the cockpit on hot days. So when you got the vents open, there's a place for the air to exhaust. There's also a fire extinguisher. I'll show that here. So that'll come out, and all I really got to do there is check the pressure and make sure it's got content in it. So we're gonna jump in there and start taking apart the baggage access door, and I'll try and get an angle for the camera so we can film that. All right, so we're gonna have, I need my screw gun, cup to hold the screws, maybe a headlamp in case it gets too dark. So the best way to do this is just to climb in and sit down in the back and take my shoes off because it gives me a little bit more space for my legs. So in order to get this cover off, I just peel these back part way, these carpetings. And then this will fold out. Everything's held by Velcro. Add that down. And that's one piece down. Next is the access panel. Just a bunch of screws to take out. Let me grab a flashlight. I'll show you what's back there. Move these screws so I don't knock them over. So, in the back, on the right side of the fuselage, your left since we're facing backwards, you can see the autopilot servo for the elevator. There's my battery A. There's a battery contactor. Here's your elevator pitch here. Pitch rod going back. Flicking over onto the other side. Get that light on there. Here's your hydraulic pump. And in my case, you can actually see a couple of extra items. There's the pressure switch, which is a standard part of the system. And then there's pressure senders for the high and low side. So there's pressure sender there, pressure switch for up, pressure switch for down, and two of these. That lets me watch the hydraulic pressure from the instrument panel. So the Dynon, it's just part of the engine monitor. So I can track if I've got hydraulic leaks. It's really helpful for troubleshooting. Up here, this is my ADAHRS, so that's Air Data Attitude Heading Reference System. That's a Dynon component that works with the primary flight display. And it's in the back here on an aluminum bracket so that it doesn't have any interference magnetically. And I'm just noticing there appears to be something missing. So you'll notice there's a nut here, there's a stud here, but there's no nut. So that may have vibrated loose over time. Something I'll have to investigate. Let's see. Yeah, I think it popped. I think the nut came loose and it popped off. So I'll replace that nut and washer. Going in the back, you can see, zoom in a little bit, the elevator bell crank. I'll have to climb back there and inspect that. Rudder bell crank. So you can see it's an internal with that little small push rod there. Did the focus? There's a small push rod back there, and that keeps everything inside, so there's no rudder horns visible from exterior to the airplane. It cleans things up nicely, but it does add some mechanical complexity, and it puts a little... So now I've pretty much got the fuselage opened up. There's actually one more thing. I'm going to flip around, show you the baggage tunnel. Let me zoom back out. So under this carpet here, the top one, this here is an axis panel, and under here is the flap actuator motor, the emergency locator transmitter, and ADS-B receiver. So I'll just take this cover off, inspect the flap motor, run the flaps up and down, listen for noise, just kind of check it out. There's my paperwork. And that's it, pretty much, for the baggage area. As I mentioned, there's nothing under here other than the fuselage wall, so there's no need to take this carpet off here because it's just fiberglass. No wires, no plumbing, no systems run in here, so there's no reason to take that off for inspection. Okay.